Overcoming is a show that sees us bringing women together in discussion about a challenge that they are either currently going through or have overcome. Basically, sharing our pain, holding hands, crying together, and healing together, hoping that this will inspire somebody currently going through tough times. Well, let's see what today's episode has in store for us.
My name is Kisihomwe and I am a young mother. I'm here to share my story on how I lost the father of my child 3 years ago, and I hope that my story is an inspiration to many women out there and also men who have gone through losing their partner and having to raise a child alone. So I want you to know that whatever you go through also you can eventually overcome.
Hi, my name is Kharata Mashaka. I'm a young widow who lost her husband 2 years back in 2016, and I intended to change the story that widows go through, to tell the story that it's not about what you go through, but how you go through it. And I'm here to let widows know that there is a life after losing a life partner.
Now, before we part ways, I'm very curious, like, if you could have your partner back for just the day, just 24 hours, what would you do?
I look back. One thing I've made peace with my God is that I knew it was time, and I always thank Him for the time that He gave me. It had to be me who had to be His wife, and nobody ever had the privilege except for me. So it comes as a blessing. But if He was to come back, the only thing that I would want was for Him to just wake up and tell them, you know what, just support her and love her and be there for her, because that's the life that I would want for her. That's the life He's always wanted for me. I think that has been the part that really had been a struggle for me, and it's a struggle as I speak to many widows to say rejection is just one painful thing. It stops me from even grieving, and it ends up birthing things like depression, birthing a new trait, an undesirable trait that we find within women. Women who are hurting, who are saying we've never healed because we've been rejected, we've had fingers pointing at us, and we had nobody to justify for us. For me, it would be just to say, baby, nothing else. Just wake up and tell them, I need you to carry on from where I left off.
You know, that just touched me so deep inside, because I'm thinking, you know, in my head I expected you to say, you know, I'd want us to probably go do this together or do that together. But, you know, what you're talking about is the pain of rejection after losing your partner. So the issue at the end of the day, as much as it's painful that you had lost him, is the fact that the people that you expected you'd grieve with were not even there to grieve with you. It's heartbreaking, and I'm so sorry that you had to go through that, and you continue to go through it. And I think that's just the painful bit right there.
It is okay now, Hannah. I had to learn that it is not really about what you go through, but how you go through it. And amazingly, I have been able to pull through and focus on what was important, which is grieving and having to support women and sound it out, as much as it was very sensitive. I remember I had to sit down in front of my dad and tell him, this is the young lady that you raised. That's how strong I am. If our society is going to be quiet on this thing, because the most shocking thing is that how we're married in families who are very educated to understand these things. Unfortunately, when a husband dies, I think there's just an evil force that just falls down and
ignorance takes over. So
I think because I'm still very young, and after he died, mind you, I had just turned 22, and unmarried as I am, the greatest challenge is having men that feel, I can now come in and try to be a father figure, and that those men don't know how to handle my emotional state, my emotional imbalance, the times whereby I would not even want to wake up next to that man. If I had one day with him, I wish he would tell the next man that I would see worthy to try and pursue love with, to just simply take me as I am. Because that man knew how to love me without ever having a manual or guide to say, love her like this. If I had one day with him, I'd still hold him close and say, please tell the next man to handle me the way you handled me. because there were times whereby I did not even want to be patient with myself, and he'll just look at me and say, "You are my forever and more. You have given me hope. You have given me reason to know that you can love somebody just beyond their pocket and what they bring to the table." And one thing that had always abhorred him was the fact that I took him as he was. You know, I love beyond what seems or the society deems as right to love. I loved that man with his flaws and his weak character, and I worked with him and I worked on him. And one thing that he had always said to me was, "You are so patient with me." And I really appreciate that. And that is what we lack nowadays. Partners that can be patient with us. And if I had one day, I think I'll die with him thereafter.
Oh, we don't want you gone yet. You know, and I think as Horata mentioned, everything happens as it should. Huh? Everything happens as it should. Probably, but ladies, like your final message, and we're out of time, unfortunately. What would you say to somebody who just lost their partner? What would you like to say to them? And I wish you could even speak into the camera for this. To somebody who literally just lost their partner. Okay, that is the camera.
Okay. To this somebody who's just lost their spouse, or you've lost your partner, one thing that I would like to say to you is time makes better. You might be going through it now and you might not be seeing the ray of light, but it will eventually come. And it is not about what you go through, but how you go through it. It is a decision that you can make yourself. You don't have to wait for the next person to really decide for you. And the challenges that you're going through are not to really kill you, but to bring out the strong person that you are. So stand out and stand strong.
And to somebody who just lost a partner, I would say to you, grieve the best way you can. Don't even conform to anybody's coping mechanism, because they are not in your shoes. They do not understand the pain you're carrying. They do not understand the impact it has on you. Do it the best way you can. And they will tell you time heals. It doesn't. The more you cover pain, the more you clothe it, the more it will erupt inside of you. So release pain. Be yourself in your painful moments. Cry if need be. Scream. Do everything that will give you solace at the end of the day, because pain demands to be felt. And the more you compress it, the more it will eat you inside. So grieve the best way you can.
My ladies, thank you so much for having joined us today. And I think what is incredible, about what both of you are doing is you are going out there to share your story. And in that process, you just cannot imagine the number of lives you're impacting. And believe you me, not every one of them has reached out to you and said, you've made a difference. But on that behalf, I just want to let you know that you certainly are making a difference. Thank you so much for allowing yourselves to be vulnerable with us, because I think I'm one of those people who believes vulnerability is not weakness. It's strength, if anything. The amount of strength you've portrayed here today is just incredible. Strength by acknowledging that you are not perfect. You have felt pain. You have been in your pain, and you are ready to live. I think the willingness to move on and to continue living is just an incredible thing. Thank you so much for having joined me today. Do I need to say anything more, guys? Thank you so much for having joined us on Overcoming, and catch us again next time, same place.